does also take up a lot more farm than normal. So these are the strats, basically, and the recipes that Tundra has been relying on to do so well in this tournament. And before we get into the games, let's hear a couple words from Tundra, comments on their coach, AUI 2000.
So AUI has always been known like as the the nerd or the person who has all the knowledge about the game, and it's true because he plays a lot of pubs and he plays a lot of party queues. He actively thinks about the game while playing these games, and he learns a lot of small tricks and optimizations. AUI is like the master of efficiencies, and he always teaches us like the smaller, granular details.
Yeah, I think he does a lot for us. It's like just as important part of every other player in the team. I think things that we've been working with him a lot is improving our communication, because a lot of times like you have these team fights, and after a couple seconds of team fighting, it's all like go this one, and it's just total chaos. So we had a lot of conceptual talks on how to structure the team fight communication in the best way. I think there's one thing that Awi has been really great at.
And then outside of the game, he's also been very instrumental to our mental health. I think we as a team didn't really understand how to cope with losing and like how to recover and learn from these things. And it's a process and it takes time. And I think AUI, along with our psychologist, was a big help.
I mean, he's a great guy. In and outside of Dota, he helps me personally a lot to improve as a human, as a player. He does that for everyone in our team, and he's irreplaceable. I love him.
There we are, Tundra talking about their coach Awi, and Awi, we've seen coaches this tournament be instrumental, but he's not being, he's a little bit quieter in terms of he hasn't spoken too much, but he seems like the brain of the tournament when it comes to wanting someone behind your team.
Yeah, he doesn't reveal way too much when Slacks is interviewing him, but when he talks to us, like back 1 year ago when he was paneling with us, like that man has a brain that's constantly on Dota. Like that's the only thing he thinks about. It's these small little intricacies that they just mentioned. He's going to make and force his players buy branches, just so they have that extra efficiency. Or mangoes.
The mangoes, yeah. I feel like he has everything in terms of the toolkit, so you don't have to rely on like other people. He can just let you do the in-game, the out-game. Like he's just like an all-rounded, just kind of a perfect coach, basically.
I like him too.
Yeah, thank you, Sheep. Yeah, and of course, they're going to be going against Team Secret. So Team Secret, if I would say Tundra are the brains, Team Secret, really the dedication. Puppy founded his team a very long time ago, and this is the first time, I believe, that he's got his team, Team Secret, into the Grand Finals. He won TI1, and 10 TIs later, he is here. But to tell us more about this specific tournament, this TI's road to the Grand Finals, it's going to be Tsunami.
You heard it from James. This has been a hell of a journey for Team Secret, and it's been going on for quite a while. Obviously, the organization was formed many, many years ago. Getting it to this Grand Finals, getting it to this year's Grand Finals has been a hell of a route. It all started at the beginning of Tour number 1. To qualify directly for TI, you had to get some DPC points. And to get into the DPC points, you got to do well in the leagues. Secret didn't do so well, and it wasn't even with this roster. Sumail and Ice Ice Ice, they bore that Secret jersey at the beginning of the year, got 5th place. Tour 2, keep the same roster, get 5th place. Tour 3, start mixing up a little bit. Unfortunately, Yapzor had to take a step down due to health reasons, and yet again, they get 5th place. You need 1,020 points to directly qualify for TI. Secret ended the year with 78. That means that they need to go to qualifiers. They go to the European qualifiers, they go to the Western European qualifiers, they go up against Entity. They get 2nd place. Yet again, they fall just barely short. Now they have to go through last chance qualifiers. Now they have to bring out a little bit of their own knowledge, a little bit of their own secret sauce. They bring out the Leshrac. Yes, obviously this hero has become a signature for all of TI11, but it all started in the group stage, and Resolution has been using it to great effect. Yeah, take a bow, you've been doing good. Not only for Secret, but for everyone else. Something that Secret especially have been very effective with is their flexibility, though. They've been bringing Dawnbreaker to a great deal of prominence throughout this tournament, and yet again, it seems that they're comfortable putting it in a variety of roles. you never really know where this hero is going to be. Offlane, carry, she's been doing work for Team Secret. And it's kind of hard not to expect that when you've played so many matches. Yes, because of this very, very long journey that Team Secret have had to go through. They have quite a litany of games under their belt. 45 games played throughout Last Chance Qualifier, and I guess that's around 3 hours ago. It has been a arduous task for Team Secret to wrap this up, but let's see if they're able to do it. You don't need to hear it from me, though. Let's hear how Team Secret themselves felt about their run.
I mean, the best moment obviously was beating PSG LGD in the upper bracket and then beating Thunder in the upper bracket again to solidify top 3. Mattered a lot because now I'm exactly in the same spot as I was in last TI, so that's pretty good.
It meant so much to me because I always come to TI, I always go to the upper bracket, and then I always lose the first game in the upper bracket, and I start all over again from the lower bracket. But this time, we won the first game. I was like, oh my god, this is the first time ever I won my first game in the upper bracket. It meant so much to me.
It does definitely feel like we're sneaking in this time. And, I mean, sneaky last chance qualifier. You know, you see Team Liquid there also at the same time.
I think they helped us a lot, but I would say as well that it was super hard to be in those qualifiers because it's a mini TI, like 100% mini TI. Like you gotta go through some, you know, tough games. I don't really know the future, but so far I feel like we're in a pretty good state to take the whole thing, you know. I don't know like what's gonna happen. Maybe we're gonna choke, maybe we're gonna, you know, play our best Dota ever. But I feel it. I feel it.
Rezo feels it, and Puppy, you know, it's amazed he's here, and the journey he's come on, really, with the sneaking in and the last chance qualifiers, is this Team Secret's Grand Finals.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to say yes, but I feel like it should be. You know, he won the first one.
Is that just because they put inspirational music on their video, but not on Tundra Esports?
I can feel it. Yeah, they've actually kind of like brainwashed me. They brainwashed me. Yeah. But no, I feel like it would be so poetic if they can get
just looked Rezo in the eyes.
Yeah, I fell in love.
Sea blue eyes, and you fell in love. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah, you guys, come on, man. Tundra already beat them once. Come on, they can do it again. I really like their approach to Dota. Like, I think they just have a pick your poison type style where you can't just, you know, you can just try and ban 33, but then you have 9 and Skitter, and they just kind of cover each other so well with all of their different strats. And they kind of exposed some problems with Secret last series already in this third game where you have 33 who's reliably building this Wraith Pact every game, and Rezo doesn't because he's trying to play as a core. You have a Puppy trying to build it himself like 30 minutes into the game. It's, you know, they have 2 different styles coming into this. It is just whose ideas are better.
That's right. Like on the offlane, you have a carry player being the offlaner, and then you have that.
This is it. We're ready. The Grand Finals are coming your way. Let's introduce our first team. It's going to be Team Secret. Led by Puppy, finally making it to the Grand Finals, joined by Chrysalis, Nisha, Resolution, and Zayats, getting ready to sit down to play their best of 5 and their opponents, Tundra Esports. Undefeated so far of this international, Skitter 9-33, Satsa and Snaking, joined by Coach Aoi. This team have only dropped 1 map and they dropped it to their opponents that will be facing in the grand finals, Team Secret. One of these teams will go down in history, their names added to the Aegis. This match, who knows what it has in store, but let's hear from the teams because we actually got Secret to talk about their undefeated opponents. Tundra.
I think Tundra overall have 5 skilled players, and they are a bunch of, I call them cheaters, you know, they're just a bunch of cheaters. They got some cheaty strats, you know. 33 is just gonna come up with some stuff, and you're gonna look at it and you're gonna be like, yep, that's cheating. That's just cheating.
They have 2 guys, basically like 9 and 33. They're like kind of unique in a way that what heroes they're playing. Like 9 is playing some Spirit Breaker mid lane.
Tundra using a lot of Zoo heroes for Search 3, because that heroes kinda cheesy, because if he plays it and you not counter well, you're gonna lose like in 20 minutes.
In my opinion, in my head, Tundra is still the best team to beat. On top of the fact that they're 5 skilled players, they just kind of like manipulate the game a lot. And that's what Dota really is about. It's about breaking the game. And they do it pretty well.
Manipulating the game, Tundra have been doing that all the way through this tournament. And last time they played Secret, every time they got that big team fight, that one win, Sheep, they just held control, Tundra. It was so hard for Secret to really kind of just push back against them.
It's because they're so good at micro and just abusing the map to its fullest. You take any half of the enemy's map and you're cutting waves. You know, you saw they lost a team fight and 33's just using his courier to drag a creep wave down the river to keep it away from their towers. Like, these guys are just abusing this so hard, and you can't ban all of them.
And you're speaking of micro and all these cheesy heroes from 33, Pop even calling them kind of cheaters, but that's not what I saw like in the last series that they've played. Tundra outplayed them hard. They got into Team Spirit's head.
Yeah, Tundra's kind of morphed themselves into this hyper-defensive team where they wait until they know the best timing they can play on, and then when they hit that timing, they cross the river, they occupy the map, and they choke out their opponents. Like this series, it's Secret having to come in with the adaptations, with the understanding of Tundra. Like Tundra, they don't need to change anything.
Yeah, it's a really good point because Secret have been adapting though. Last time these 2 teams played, they picked up the Silencer, which they had success with, and that was their counter to Tundra's team fight. When Tundra wanted to go in, the Silencer bought enough time. Last series, Secret beat out Liquid and they pick up the Earthshaker. This is a great counter-initiator, also with the Beastmaster that had Raw, and they really allowed their carries to shine. Admittedly, we saw Puppy on the crazy...
The carry
Ench, but that felt like it was an evolved Secret. It felt like, I feel like this time they've got more in their arsenal to come up against
Definitely.
Tundra.
It did look like they prepared for Liquid. What were Liquid good at? They were good at kind of losing the mid game, but then clutching it at the end. Like the way Secret drafted as well, Morph and Sniper, they went late. They got that shaker that you were speaking of. Like they got that shaker to secure those late game team fights. But honestly, Puppy is angry. Like he picked that Ench first phase Enchantress, 0 heals, leveled stats, just carried the game.
Yeah, but it's the fact that we're talking about adaptation, but for Secret, it's not about finding new heroes. It's about going back to the heroes that they have had incredible careers on. You know, like with Puppy and Enchantress, he's got 148 games, 66% win rate in his entire career. And then you go to Nisha as well. He's in like top 5 morph players in the world for quantity of games, 78% win rate. Like you just, in these moments where you're at TI, you don't try and find new. You go back to the old that has found success. And I'm expecting to see these heroes pop up again in this grand finals.
Yeah, we've seen like Crystallis's Monkey King as well coming up again. Like I think he is a great story of someone who people, you know, doubted throughout the qualifiers. I think even his old teammate Fishman said it felt like Secret didn't believe in him, but now it does. It feels like that. It feels like you can see it in his play. You can see it in the drafting. Like they'll pick Rezo early and he'll clutch it all out, and you have these later picks for Crystallis, and he is really showing up.
Yeah, I mean, Crystallis is showing up, but you've got to think about Tundra esports carry as well. Skinner, in his interview, he just said, this TI just feels right. And people have considered him just to be probably the best performing carry here. Obviously, they're in the grand final, so certainly, you know, that there's some proof to that. But
Like,
what about Skitter?
If you know Skitter, and if you go all the way back to like some small European tournaments, like these heroes that are in the meta right now, that are being played on TI, these are all his comfort heroes. I go back to their series versus Aster. They win against Stark, then they pick it up themselves, and he goes like ultra kill godlike on it. Like all of the heroes like Stark, CK, Lifestealer, they fully fall into his comfort zone.
the fact that you talk about Skidder being comfortable and like he thinks he's going to just be good in this TI, like that, getting a carry player in that mindset, having that confidence, and going, yeah, it just feels right. That's so scary for one. It's probably why they're also finding success, because they talk about the mental game in their pre-interview. The fact that they're in this good mind space and then they're undefeated. Oh, that is so scary.
I mean, if you're going to beat someone in the grand finals, you need to be mentally there to be able to push your heroes to the limit with your team. And we did see that from Secret when they were chasing down Liquid in the final moments to close out round 3. So I think Secret are probably going to be, on a high after that win coming into this. But Tundra should be feeling, I would say, confident. They did beat Secret earlier on.
Calm and collected. That's how I describe it.
And that's really the team.
It's big for them. It's massive for them. AUI himself was saying that it was the mental game in Arlington that caused their loss, and they got a psychologist now. They're looking good.
And looking at the mid players as well, one of the things about momentum is Nine playing mid. Like, how would we describe Nine's play style? Nine, the mid for Tundra Esports, he seems to move a lot. He gets involved. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
You were super right.
He's like an ultimate playmaker at the moment that comes with a ton of flair. I feel like that kind of mid laner is what you need to win the TI. Like, you need a maniac on the mid lane, like playing his tasks, just doing crazy stuff. I go back again to Topson, to Monkey King Pagna mid lane, like just innovating, doing new stuff. That's what you need from your mid. Like, you need to get in their heads. Like, you need to pick Tusk first phase, and then they're thinking, oh, is this Tusk mid? Is it position 4? What's going to happen?
And then they just throw it on mid, and it's like Nine getting in your head.
And he's getting like 20 kills.
Can you kind of stop Nisha though? Can you get into Nisha's head? Nisha, the mid lane for Secret. I mean, this guy, he seems so calm and collected, and he's got Puppy next to him.
Did you see the Morphling game earlier in game 1 against Liquid? Him just like taking over the tough, snowballing into higher ground, going for higher ground, pike, waveforming in, piking out. Like, yeah, Nisha right now, if he plays like he did in that first series, he is.
Wait. You say right now, like in the first series, Sheep. When's the last time you saw Nisha underperform?
Never.
Go back through your calendar, yeah.
I mean, Nisha is amazing, and so is Nine. I really respect Nine's thoughts on Dota. Like, he loves mid because he loves controlling the pace. He loves controlling the map. He likes having access to side lanes and making stuff happen. Like, Skidder was saying that him and Snaking are just like, Nine talks about his teammates and say how they're biggest nerds, and they all just love talking about Dota. Like, they just all brings so much to the table, like 33 bringing a lot of micro information, helping with item skill builds. It feels like everyone has something that helps each other, and you bring that to Nine on his mid, and he's just able to like make everyone's like strengths shine.
The thorn in the side of some of these players, though, were often the soft support. Zayats was killing it in his last game on the Earthshaker.
But he's also bringing the energy. And that's the key thing. When we see these little player shots going right now, Secret, they're the ones like Resolution. Zayats right there on camera. Like Rezo, he's joining in with the crowd. He's like doing the wave. Zayats during the game, he's standing up. He's hitting a fissure. He's like air punching to the enemy team. Like, this team is energy. Tundra, on the other hand, calm. Like, they win a fight, you hear the team come to the true sight thing. Nice.
Just like Aoi said it would go.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Master Aoi, thank you. We shall win this for you. Like, they are just, it's polar opposites in energy between these two teams right now.
Yeah, if you're Tundra though, you don't need energy. You're winning every single game. Like, stay cool, stay calm.
Exactly.
All according to plan. Yeah.
And of course, this will be a best of 5, and this will push them to their limits. Do you think they can have the stamina? Because they've played a lot less games than Secret.
So come on.
You know what?
Go on.
I don't want to know.
Hello.
Oh.
You know what I want? I want the match 1 the grand finals. Let's get into the game.
Team Secret versus Tundra Esports Grand Finals.
काय पे तू ऐसे स्ट्रीम करा रहा है क्या?
Thank you very much, James. Yes, we're here and we're
5 गेम होते क्या?
from Singapore for the grand finals of the International 11. Tundra up against Team Secret.
अबे काय दिखा रहा बे तू?
Only Seb, Notel and Fog.
मैं इस पे देख रहा. अच्छा ये खोल लिया.
Wait for this. The draft has begun. We'll be able to get it up on your screen soon. But boys, you know, you've been here before. This time in a bit of a different capacity. What do you have to say about these two teams, the roads that they've been on, and what you're expecting to see today in these drafts?
The best Dota you can get all year. This is going to be absolutely amazing. Dota fan, I couldn't be more excited. This is the best time of the year, the best series of the year. So let's just bring it on.
Top of the top, as they say.
Let's get 5 games. Let's just get the 5 games.
अबे तू इस पे देख, Twitch पे देख.
It's exciting. I mean, the
और
first
अपना Dota का जो ये है ना, तूने वहाँ से Twitch खोलेंगा वहाँ से देख.
Also last time.
वो तेरा YouTube पीछे चल रहा है. मिराना और टच पिक कर लिया इन्होंने टंड्रा ने.
In every single game so far, like during this weekend, playoff weekend. So now they're letting it.
Thought that yesterday in the third game they should have banned the Enigma second phase.
Twitch आ गया क्या तू Twitch पे?
Not, and I think now they beat their Visage. If they ban the Enigma and kind of coerce him into the Visage pick again and have
ये अपना भाई mid इनका.
one more time, I think they can set themselves up like an advantage for the rest of the series.
Seems like a solid
33 नहीं ये है ना बे दिशा ये.
Limit 33 if he's not opened up with, as we
लड़की का नाम है पोर्ट पे का.
Try to force him into something less comfortable.
I think you go through with this path, you know, and if you're going to go
Leshrac mid हाँ होगा नहीं तो offlane भी निकल सकता.
You got the right answer. Because it seems to be one of the strongest heroes, like
ये वो है ना बे.
Wraithpack kind of hero.
खुद भी उठता क्या नाम इसका ये भी कोई किया हुआ खेला लगता.
There is a different dynamic
कोच है वो है ना.
between both teams, right? Rezo never really buys the Wraith Pact for the most part for this team, while for Tundra, 33 tends to be like
वो फोटो को बुलाया भाई इसके नोट है और उसको.
So it's a really interesting dynamic they do have between both teams.
Also, yeah, they have two very different styles. These two teams.
है इनका offlaner भाई Secret का.
Different styles of Dota that are going to be clashing. Secret is very much about the lanes and the momentum. They also enjoy to scale, whereas Tundra, I would say, is a style that utilizes the map much more.
And the early game. Like, Tundra has almost been winning every single early game that they go into. I mean, statistically, they just seem to have this snowball effect, also related to the Wraith Pact. But, yeah, they get a lead early on. The map starts closing in. There's a few, I guess, cases where it hasn't happened. But I think right now, I'm quite happy for what Secret got and what the position that they're in.
There are a few things to mention. Obviously, in the grand finals and in the best of 5, side and pick priority matters a lot. Second pick has been king so far. Every team, I think, left in this tournament, like the top 4 were favoring second pick. Tundra and Secret are both also favoring second pick. Tundra got priority for this game, and they went ahead and picked second pick. It's very classic when you're in a second pick situation to try to pick open heroes. And in Tundra's case, it is. Saxa can play the Mirana, so does Snake King. I think 9 even played it one game. The Tuskar can obviously be put on support position as well as mid, so they're keeping it open and they're looking to really try to counter-pick Secret as much as they can in the second phase.
I think they're looking to match the Tusk with the Leshrac mid in case they get the notion, but we've seen Resolution also play a very mean Leshrac this tournament.
Mid players have investigated the Mirana versus Leshrac also matchup, so I don't know if it's something
that's
we could see.
Probably something, yeah.
We could see that too.
We haven't seen this one too much, but it's a Saxa specialty, right?
That has to be a Saxa hero. So yeah, I mean everything is pretty still flex for Tundra.
बीच में अटका था क्या तेरा ये?
Quite like the concept that everything too. You amplify damage that everyone else is doing. You have the high burst from Sharpshooter. It's an interesting concept that could.
And they also have a very long range high nuke. Oh, there we go. Secret goal for the Enigma. I'm actually very happy to see that.
I think it could also be a support Enigma. I've seen Poppy play that Enigma himself. I mean, he's been very
Enigma से बहुत खेलते भाई,
but he
बहुत
actually
ठीक हुआ
brought it
इसमें
back to his own kind of playbook very recently. Obviously, it could very well be an offlane hero and Rezo's hero. That's probably the most likely, but we'll see what Secret goes with that.
Yeah, really interesting. Because that also could probably be the Wraith Pact carrier as well too for Secret. So maybe now they're starting to.
अरे भाई एनिग्मा ने अगर ब्लैक होल डाला है और स्नोबॉल में टच गया तो स्नोबॉल फंसेगा नहीं ना उसमें.
This is one of the few drafts where 33 has been really set up for success. Usually they kind of throw him under the bus. I mean, when it's 33, it's not really throwing him under the bus. He strives under, with any hero in any situation. But right now he's gonna get a late pick. Either 18 pick, like after. Actually, the ultimate last pick maybe for Tundra. So we're looking to see 33 in a very favorable situation, which is always scary to play against.
Yeah, it's been 7 out of 9 games where his hero got first phase.
Channeling रहती ना black hole.
So here he gets a delicious second phase. I'm curious to see what is going to be.
ये पपी खेलेगा भाई.
Brood is out.
Visage is still in, but last time he picked Visage, they lost.
He's played a lot of Tide also with a lot of success. It could be a hero he looks at.
ये अपना क्या नाम?
Also be quite innovative.
नहीं ना बे पपी ये खेलेंगा, लीच खेलेंगा, एनिग्मा वो खेलेंगा रेजोल्यूशन. उनका ऑफलाइन अच्छा है वो.
We see the Lich.
पता नहीं कुछ ये भाई चेंज करते हैं लोग उनका भरोसा नहीं.
Like Nisha's most likely the Lich. Resolution's going to be the Enigma.
So one of the trends we've seen this tournament, obviously this Leshrac has been dominating, and one of the answers to this Leshrac has been a heavy amount of physical damage. It's something that punishes the Bloodstone, you know, when he kind of dies through the tag team or the Slaughter. We've seen the Snipers, the Linas, and then we've also seen as an answer to that the Liches and the Sven with the Shard or Lich Frost.
Leshrac खेलना है भाई बहुत खतरनाक.
In that case, you know, Tusk counters Lesh, but Lich helps Lesh play against Tusk.
Oh boy.
And we're going for the Naga.
Ooh. I think this is one of the stronger strats that I've seen come out of Tundra and also in the meta. They get the classic Naga Mirana, but it's also this very long range, kind of hard to get heroes together.
पोर्ट्रेट वाले टंड्रा
It
साले
can be a real pain to
जीत रहे भाई बहुत लोगों का रहा है उन्होंने.
Leshrac in these type of games.
And it seems to be Tundra's style that you guys were mentioning also too, is opening up the map, right? That's what this hero always allows you. It lets you pick and choose your battles when you want to, when you're playing versus something like high cooldown like
यार
हाँ,
गेम देखना कुछ भी हुआ था ना भाई ऐसा लग रहा था
If you
लिक्विड
wanna
जीत
visualize
जाएंगी.
how this game might play out, you know, for Secret, think about Tundra, first of all, is one of the teams that utilize
इधर side में.
time the best, I think. You know, they respect very much the two sequences in Dora that is daytime and the reduced nighttime vision. So they usually go on the offensive on nighttime, which is actually a key factor on how they dominate.
नहीं सपोर्ट है कि कैरी रहेगा.
Think about nighttime, playing versus Naga Illusions.
हाँ ये आ सकता भाई.
Shadow, you do not see heroes.
Yes,
you have this Tusk Hoodwink.
Yes भी आ सकता सही बोला तू सीक्रेट केस में. इसलिए इसमें येस में देखा क्या खतरनाक खेला था वो.
That's the kind of pressure, in and out pressure that Tundra really excels at in team fights. And
और भाई चिढ़ा भी रहा था पता है क्या जो येस खेल रहा था ना जायक.
Yeah, so we
खड़ा होके चिढ़ा रहा था पुट्टा हाथ दिखा दिखा के.
Next themselves. Last time Secret played against Naga, they actually ended up having the Nyx. Nyx now, I mean, every lifesteal works in illusion, and I think that's a big reason.
The open wounds with the Leshrac.
With the Leshrac,
And now they banned the Morphling to protect the Naga pick. They were already planning it, and now they're also banning Bloodseeker, which is something that they also played previously. I want to say, I'm not sure. There was a Morphling game here. Bloodseeker, the same thing. You can also end up becoming this lifesteal bot where the illusion poke stops mattering, but yeah, I wonder what Crystallis is going to go for.
6-0 है भाई नागा पे.
No, they've targeted him.
6-0 है नागा पे.
Throughout all DPC, people have kind of made the jokes for him, especially him himself. He's like, yeah, I have my 3 big heroes, right? A lot
but
of them
he proved all the haters wrong. Like honestly, that's why he's here.
I think they really have to think about
नागा को
what 33 is going to be looking
बहुत फाइट हो जाती है नागा वो हाँ. उसका
diffuser
और से ये लग गया हाइट लग गया
I
था.
think that's a big statement also coming into game number 1. You know, you have a chance to make him maybe feel uncomfortable, but instead you're going for what you think is the right pick for them.
Not sure how much I would like Visage for Tundra.
अबे लेकिन 5 हीरो बैन रहते थे ना भाई पहले.
With Naga, I would say I don't think at all that's what he would should go for. Yeah, it could be the tide,
I think they have
perhaps.
to respect the tide.
14 हीरोज वैसे ही बैन हो जाते
हैं.
और 10 हीरोज पीक होते 24. तो 120 पे से 24 पूरे यूटिलाइज हो जाते हैं.
Also what he would be looking at. I also think Batrider is a really strong hero with this kind of strategy. I don't know if it works. I mean, it has some value, you know, with the heroes that you have, but even against the Lesh and the Lich, you can get like some high magical damage scaling meta hero, but I don't think he's played a single Batrider game.
Maybe not this tournament, but it's definitely one of his very strong heroes, so it would not be a surprise.
Seen a couple teams even try like the Brewmaster versus the Lash, right?
अबे बीच में एक न्यूज़ आर्टिकल पढ़ा था मैंने. ये टीआई वाला मतलब अंदर की जो टीम है ना जो खेलती है वो बोल रही थी कि इनको कास्टर्स की आवाज आ रही थी बोले और इनको स्मोक वगैरह सब सुनाई दे रहे थे. तो कास्टर्स बोलते हैं ना भाई स्मोक की इन्होंने अभी तो ये सुनाई दे रहे थे बोल रहे. पता नहीं लेकिन ऐसा सही में था कि नहीं था.
When I see like the Drow as well too, we saw.
एक ही जन ने बोला ऐसा सबने नहीं बोला.
We saw that long duration silence in a lot of fights just devastate him too. So
I do think it's a little anti-synergy with the Naga. Quite often, it doesn't really mesh super well. But of course, I mean,
देखने गए होंगे भाई उनके तो क्या माहौल होता होगा.
I don't care what you guys say. Brew for life. I would pick Brew every day.
It's a great
every game.
But not really because I can't play it. But I don't know if I could play it.
Let's see. I mean, they have very little time to work with,
What's
and
left
a
for
lot of
Crystallis?
heroes have been banned for Crystallis. Yeah, I mean, he's played some Ursa and
Ursa this game.
No, probably not, right? But out of the heroes that he's been looking at, I mean,
yeah. I'm just it's hard. It's hard for him to choose.
Ursa, he's played Ursa and Dawnbreaker that I can think of this tournament.
Dawn is still
that aren't banned.
The Dawn was nice when they played it. Oh, that is an illusion. That's an illusion killer too.
Nice. Yeah, and the Flesh Sheep now also working against small
भाई
instances of
पर्स
damage.
सेफ लेन खेल रहे वो.
It's a good matchup. I mean, I think it scales pretty nicely into an arc.
It's also the hook versus the sleep. It has
नहीं
a lot of
पर्स
value.
सेफ
I mean,
लेन
even now you
हाँ
can
हो
hook through
सकता.
sleep.
Yeah, you
They changed that, so you can hook your allies out, you can hook the enemy. Yeah, and this Naga cannot sleep TP with the early levels of sleep. You need, I think it's level 3 sleep to get full max range.
And this Pudge with Frost Shield.
Exactly.
तेरा मेरे से पहले चल रहा है.
It's a nice frontliner, a nice like distraction as well for the Lash to kind of do his own thing. The Pudge can kind of force spells onto him and then protect the Lash. That's
Do you think this is Crystallis calling, or do you think this is like the team and he, providing also good suggestions? Because I didn't even think of, this Pudge coming in here. I had forgotten.
I think a lot of people might. It has kind of started getting forgotten in a way, right? But because Lifestealer was so prominent, people have started to learn how to play versus it. But
But hey, isn't this Lich Punch against the Tidehunter?
बोल ही रहते वो लोग caster में.
Of course. It's like they're going for their bread and butter strat, and obviously I do feel like Secret covered very nice angles. Both teams really got drafts they must be super happy about, and that's the first game, so it's very exciting.
Who would you rather be?
Nisha आओ ना.
I think
Pudge कह रही है भाई.
Their strategy is very strong. I put Secret on the back foot, even though I really like what they went for.
So I believe that this is just
too good of a game. I think Lev is going to place
on them, and I think it's going to force them into these early fights. And with the early game that I see Secret having, I would have to go with Secret draft to draft, even though I'm also the biggest Naga lover on this panel. I think Naga is an incredible hero. I think if it goes past a certain point, I think Naga is going to start being too much of an issue. But I think Secret's going to roll on them.
And Foggia, yourself, I mean, that first pick sort of still standing strong, as these two have sort of said, and Nisha. He's sort of been the one of stand out and kind of see how he carry Secret through.
ये देख रहे हो tiny है ना ये tiny. ये Zack को हाथ दिखा रहा था भाई फोटो को.
Methods to deal with this Lash. I'm with my boy Johan. I think this time
resolution.
I like the less Pudge strat. I think it's going to be pretty hard.
बहुत अच्छा खेला ऑफलाइन में देखने मैंने.
His Tusk has been miraculous in some games, so eyes on him.
I hope this game doesn't go on for
दिखाए भाई चालू तो हो पहले.
See another repeat of yesterday's game.
तो टुंड्रा का ज़्यादा आइडिया नहीं भाई.
Slowly people start getting picked off. You get forced into your base. Yeah, I mean, Secret, they're going to have to play the same early game that they did yesterday and keep the ball rolling.
Sure, and Seb, you sort of also agree in sort of that timing sense that if this does go on Tundra as a squad, and especially with the lineup that they have here, it's going to be tough for Secret as minutes pass.
I've seen Tundra's first map this tournament, and ever since I can't stop thinking about them. I've watched all their replays.
अबे OG ने भाई OG का भी YCC हुआ था. वो भाई 3-4 गेम खेले, 3 गेम खेले थे पहले और बाद में और 5 गेम चले उनके सोच एक ही दिन में 8 गेम वो भी इतने बड़े. अरे उसका एक लोटेल और वो सुट्टे फूक रहे थे बाहर OG के बुट्टे. तो नो स्मोकिंग का बोर्ड था पीछे और वहीं पे सिगरेट पी रहा था नोटे.
Main stage.
ये TI जीता भाई ये.
Easier? I mean, I think it's Secret.
अबे तेरा 1 सेकंड सामने चल रहा है भाई.
Like they have to dodge the tide lane, they have to dodge like the snowball from the Lesh and like how they're gonna get momentum. Yeah, I mean, my God is telling me Clement wants to break the curse. He is not here for second place. He's here to win.
Okay, well, thank you very much, boys. Looking forward to having you join us for Game 2 draft. But for now, just before the game, we're going to be able to head over to Slacks and hear from the coach.
Thank you so much, OD Pixel. Hello, I am here, ladies and gentlemen, with Howie 2000 from Tundra. First time we're saying him today. Give it up. Oh, there we go. The stadium is alive, my friend. So good to have you yet again. I got some bad news for you. Okay, Lesh, Enigma, Pudge, I hear these are pretty good heroes. You guys let these ones through, no bans. Are you prepared for this? Have you, spent your time getting ready?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the finals,
it's interface.
We'll play versus the last track, see how it goes.
Game stats वगैरह भाई.
Are you confident in that last pick of the Tidehunter?
33 Tidehunter है भाई.
Boy going against that big beefy Pudge. What does he provide for the team? If you would give us any insight. I mean, we're in the finals. The patch. Hey, come on, give me some real info here.
I think he'll buy good aura items and give us some team fight versus them. I think Neta's Tidehunter is like by far one of his best heroes. He wins like every pub on the hero, so we're really confident on it.
Okay, sir, how far do you see this series going? You think we're going to Game 5?
It'd be fun.
It would be fun for you, and it'd be fun for us, but let's find out how at least Game 1 is going. We'll throw it back to the casters.
15-20 करोड़ का तो गेम होगा ही भाई ये. मतलब ये फाइनल. नहीं ज़्यादा ही होगा. कितना लेके जाता विनर भाई?
Before this game begins, let's hear what he had to say.
I mean, honestly.
वो टॉपसन तो भाई 25-30 करोड़ कमा के गया.
This is what we played for, guys. We are playing for this moment. Let's enjoy every second of it. We're not gonna get many of these. Maybe 6 more. I mean 5 more. That's what I want. But still, let's.
There we go. Some fantastic words there from Rezo. Smiles all around as well. Very much ready for the game. We'll see how ready he is though, because Tundra, they're going to find him here for this first bit of action. Trapped out by the shots. No, we can't quite get around. Doesn't matter the time. He's going to get hooked underneath the tower. Christmas gets the but Saxa was the first to get that first kill. Gets first blood for Saxa, but in return, Nisha will pick up the kill after 9 there off the back of that excellent hook for Crystallis.
trade. But Nisha, as you
नेट
mentioned,
का
he
तो
gets
इशू
the kill,
होगा.
so we'll get that earlier bottle for the matchup mid. And yeah, let's look at all these lanes, how they're going to be broken down, right? We've got the snaking. He's been playing this Mirana time and time again throughout this tournament. 4 branches, strong laning items, and we've got this this 33 times on his hoodwink. Something they haven't played too much as of late, but they used to play it a lot. Get a hook onto the top, they'll be just fine. And yeah, lots of physical damage coming out from this bottom lane. Something that can be sometimes deceptive.
I mean, look at it. Nisha's kind of interested in getting involved in a bit of a chase there. But won't continue to take any more attention away from the middle lane, or just be left to Chrysalis and Puppy to chase 33 down a little bit. Chrysalis, of course, having to be careful himself.
24 चल रहा है क्या रे टाइमर?
We've got to sort of talk about as well comments there from Aoi before the game. Do you sort of like that approach? Game 1 of the grand finals.
ये अपने पूछ क्या वाला?
Let's see if you can deal with it. You've got many games.
जा रहे range creep. देख उनके भी range creep जाते भाई.
People always talk about with Puppy, right? What he does, he gives the team their heroes. If he beats it, then it's like, oh my god, you kind of.
नहीं होते ना बे.
So I think it's a really cool approach. And just looking at these lanes now, we have the Lich Punch.
नहीं होने दिया उसने deny.
Both of the bottom heroes on Secret starting with bringing protections to deal with that physical damage, to try to tank up, because sometimes, like we mentioned, it can be a bit deceptive.
Let's have a look at some of these lanes. I mean, overall, who do you have the biggest concerns for? Anybody going to have a specifically tough time in these early minutes?
I'm looking at bottom, to be honest with you. I mean, it depends on how much damage they're able to do with this, like, Gush plus this Acorn shot, but it's a lot of magical burst that could sometimes trip up a tide, so see if 33 is able to hold up with it. They are pretty limited on regen also, but it tends to be...
अभी सोचा था क्या सेफ लेन पहुंच रहेगा टीआई में.
This mid lane matchup in particular, you know,
हाँ ये वाला है इसीलिए पहले तो कभी अभी थोड़े वो लेकिन अब कभी भी पहुंच जब मेटा में देख उसका डिनाई हो रही है डोमिनेट तो कर रहे हैं भाई लेश 2 पॉइंट्स को
Both spells on cooldown from Saxa and 33, so no further chase, but fair bit of a harass, keeping Chrysalis pressured underneath the tower.
Starts to get easy.
इसका डैमेज बहुत है बे साला बेस डैमेज 77 का मार रहा हूँ.
But as we've seen so many times, Tundra, this off lane, these two, they're special together. There's something about
वो भी है वो तो है ही है और ये भी है ना भाई अभी तो चल उससे कोई आइटम नहीं खरीदा स्ट्रेंथ वाला वो तो स्टैट्स.
Let's see how they do adapt.
I mean, what are some of the things that they do
सबसे ज्यादा ट्रिएंट का है भाई लेवल 1 लेवल 2 डैमेज
they are the duo that's just winning out.
80 80 90 हिट करता सीधा.
Trade a little bit better. Either they either trade or they just do these constant lane pulls shenanigans with Saxa, just re-manipulating where the lane positioning is. So it's just a Tundra specialty. We're seeing Tom also starting to have a bit of struggle as tends to happen versus these Enigmas. The Eidolon's building up. Chrysalis will be okay.
I mean, that bottom lane really...
It's the lane to watch.
It's a case of, how much do Tundra try and push for that kill on the Pudge?
Yeah.
इमीडिएट देख इसका नागा सायरन का हमेशा डायर की तरफ से वो भी जब डायर की तरफ से था वो वो ज़्यादा हो गया तो बहुत हो गया भाई फिर तो पहले
Eidolon spam, it continues to happen whenever you are playing those carries. It's going to be affecting you a little bit. But Skeeter, he's holding his own, him snaking. They have kill threat constantly too, the early point in net with that arrow combo. So something to look out for, especially on Zayat. But Red Zone, he's always got those Eidolons, so they have a lot of ways to protect and block arrow combos and stuff like that with the summons.
Yeah, and all in all, in terms of the how good it is for the Enigma, how good is it for Rezo? Is it going to be easy for him to have impact with the black hole, or is this going to be one of those games where it's kind of everything else about the hero that's going to
that tends to be the story for the Enigma a lot of times. But if you look at his items that he's got queued up, we did mention the Wraith Pack comparison of the team. He's going to go for the black hole plays and just play around his Malefice and stuns from a distance.
Absolutely, I think something that we're going to be very, very happy to see.
Malefice पड़ती तो मर जाती थी.
We won the action, we won the black holes.
ये कैंप ब्लॉक करना जरूरी है बोले भाई.
At some point there is going to be that lack of BKB disable, of course, for the Enigma. Sure, they're going to have to sleep and reset and do these kind of fights that we see Tundra do a lot of times. We see a lot of teams do with Naga Siren, but could get to some points where you have to take these fights. Oh, he lands it.
Lovely little angle there. They've got the blast as well to slow Saxa down, but because the creeps are pushed
in,
will be tanked up by the wave, so Saxa able to walk out. And Chrysalis definitely showing so far. I don't think he's missed a hook, really. Every single one of them on point, so got to watch out for those down the road.
But 33 is free farm, so that lane that we were taking...
इसका नागा भी free farm है और ये भी free farm है, Tide Hunter.
With Saxa's harassment. And Chris is just staying kind of low, which is a bit scary. He could constantly be getting on him.
We'll have that Ring of Health coming out to him, so likely to be consistently in a position where his health's a bit higher.
Mari Kharutai.
He'll find himself on top of Chrysalis. They're trying to get aggressive on towards the punch. Saxa has the stick charges at the ready. Chrysalis, he's going to get the kill before he goes down. So they push for the kill there on the top. Something the Tundra's going to be pretty happy with. Saxa goes down, but all according to plan, I'd imagine there for Tundra, taking down Chrysalis.
Yeah, they just have, like we said, there's just such an interesting approach to the way they do it. Even the blades of attack being picked up early on 33.
Bottle refill.
Tanky items. This is a fighting build. Phase boots right away, trying to benefit off that Blightstone, any type of...
Yeah, इसी support मिलेंगे तो भाई कितना अच्छा रहेगा.
Yep, and this is sort of the classic def you see at this sort of moment from supports in that bottom lane. Me and Saxa can get over the mid, get the bottle top back up. Voila. Definitely the sort of trades that, if you're secret, you're not going to want to allow Tundra to get against you anymore in this laning stage. Be a bit more careful on when they make the calls to commit for kills.
Up top. Not enough to chase. Catch on bottom though. Constant aggression on these side lanes.
इनकी में मारेंगा कौन बे कैरी जैसा हिटर.
Especially when it's 33 that's the one on top of him. Not
tiny support है, काम नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
Damage to kind of bring down the tide. Tide's able to threaten them. Back in the top jungle, Zayats is snaking.
Snaking might be able to get this.
मारा रे मारा.
He's got a decent amount of mana to try and run down Nine.
Tiny मारा.
Though 9 far enough under the tower to survive, but back in the jungle, snaking will win the battle of the supports.
जैसा एक भी मारा.
Really working. Nisha.
Very low around this mid lane.
There's a punch.
Saxa's coming to try and help out with the setup. He's got a bit of a bottle charge and a Ferret Fire. It's not enough to keep him alive though. Nine and Saxa.
भाई क्या करे?
Saxa coming out with some top moves already from so the intentional death bottom, helping out the mid, and once again being around that mid lane, around these power runes to get that extra bit of power that Nine needs to get a kill.
And now look at bottom. That physical damage, Chrysalis, it's too much.
Bushwhack, I mean Saxa. He's in every single bit of place that they need him to be. That's a big hit, of course. 3 points in anchor smashing the players of attack on top of the face, but that's a hefty right click coming out from 33 off the back of the anchor smashing.
Leshrac का भी bottle नहीं, Leshrac तो मारा ही था साला.
He's all over the place and he's making big moves.
And it's into like secret. They did the preparation, right? They had to bring the protection to kind of try to protect versus physical. They had the frost shield, but it's not enough. This build from 33 going for that Wraith Pact, more than likely rushing it. He's gonna have to keep his sustain down there too.
To top lane. An excellent angle there for snaking, sneaking round through the trees, catches Rezo by surprise.
Wow.
Tundra getting kills up and down the map right now. The Eidolon's not quite enough to finish snaking off. They're still fighting the jungle. They can and just off to the side of the lane. We'll be able to take him down.
Eidolon कितने powerful रहते भाई.
But very much we're seeing sort of the support from
उनके ऊपर ये रहता magic.
just enabling
उनके ऊपर magic resistance रहता.
Early laning stage, getting them that extra bit of a bonus off the back of these kills. 6-3, 1k lead at the moment for Tundra.
Really clever moves, really clever positioning as well too, and we're probably going to see more of these rotations. 15 seconds until we do have that power rune coming out, so eyes on Saxa, see if he does make the rotation. Even filling up again for Knife, so I want him to be as fight ready as possible. 3 heroes collapsing on both sides.
Trying to get the chance to trap him in there with the shards.
8-minute
power rune where it's going to be. It's going to be top, but this time they'll be able to hold on to it. Nisha able to grab it. Snowball coming out the way of
मारता टस.
Only going to set up for the stun for Nisha.
अबे साला खारूता ही.
9 has got the help for Saxa. Saxa with the bushwhack holds them back, but they'll still be able to run down 9. At this time, Secret, they'll bring in the extra firepower required around this mid lane. They're going to Nisha, he's not left alone.
There's just so much burst damage from both sides.
Vanguard ही नहीं हुआ उसका अभी तक. बुलाया उसने Vanguard.
But after the start of the laning phase, it's looking really nice for Tundra. Even though they were up against some of these could be tougher lanes, they've done excellent versus the Naga Siren, farming perfectly fine versus the Enigma. Even getting that early kill is a big deal. So Secret, they want to start getting a little more active.
Early little smoke here from Nisha.
Feels like
इसको free थोड़ा सा time होना.
Top around this point where level 6 is online for the Enigma. Black hole.
बाकी इनकी भी team मारी. अरे भाई मारा. अरे भाई. जबरदस्त. खारूता के पीछे भी दौड़े. नहीं.
Getting himself back into the trees, back behind the tower, but Zayats, he's still sweeping around. They may still find him.
अबे ये कब तक?
See how much they want to try and search. It's going to be difficult to find him.
खारूता की skill कौन सी third skill है क्या ये?
Brazilian continues to go further and further into the trees. They'll catch him as well.
और side से क्या होता है उसके?
Top lane. Tundra that wants to start that play onto resolution. It was a big risk to take. They were really banking on the fact that he was on his own, but he was.
Invi वाला Invi और वो illusion वाला.
Beautiful read, really. After these last few moments, Tundra.
तो साला मतलब without.
For them secret, they strike back.
झाड़ों में साला वो बहुत होती है.
Move, it's not the squishiest of Heroes on the Enigma. With just these two on Tundra, they need a little bit more burst, so do have to be careful. Now he gets tower.
Black hole भाई जबरदस्त मारा उसने उसके ऊपर follow up भी
Tower
उनका.
will definitely help fuel that purchase. Already pre-10 minutes and hitting these sort of objective timings. In this top lane now, would you imagine if you're Tundra, how do you sort of start to slow down Secret's speed of getting control of this half of the map?
It's not going to be easy. They might have to just start making moves elsewhere. Maybe use the illusion just to scout things out, but it's not going to be easy for them to really just contest up versus Rezo now.
एक जगह occupy करनी पड़ती है, देखो पता है वहाँ आने वाले उठते हैं.
From really going up there until you do have like Sox having level 6 to have that extra beta burst damage to follow up with the Tusk. Might look to start playing around 33, I'd imagine. He's the one who's having that incredible game. I believe he has the Vlad's finished, so maybe looking to start pressuring this tower down here.
Of course, he has that Ravage good to go if he sees a chance.
Marty.
For a kill on Crystalis to get some extra help. They get the toss back onto Snake King. Doesn't stand a chance against the amount of damage they've got. Back down bottom, trying to hold back Crystalis.
It's got the Vanguard.
A bit hard to commit.
They try to glyph for it, but does get the hook onto that siege.
They're bringing in a third hero. 9 is around. With 9 diving in.
DPs दिख गए उनको.
And Tundra, you know, they sort of learn from the mistake up top. They don't want to try and push for the.
शरक भाई बहुत पास से ब्लडस्टोन कैसा लग रहा है?
Full responsive mode.
It's a pretty devastating lineup to try to commit into these kills too. And as we saw, that black hole also chain frost for the.
सबसे ज़्यादा है ना और उसका टाइड हंटर का भी तो देख.
Being much more careful now. See in terms of position for Tundra, they'll leave to that top lane here for the Mirana.
Yeah, just start jungling up, Skeeter scouting out with his illusions as well. They're going to constantly get cleaned
Price
up.
pool 18 million है. हाँ 18 million? 1.8 million sorry.
To enable space for Skeeter to keep up on the Naga.
बे नहीं 18 million price pool है भाई.
A solid 1,000 gold lead against Crystalis carrying here for Secret on the
हाँ
other
वही
side.
distribute होता ना. Group stage main event अच्छा.
As Nocturne Seb was saying, you know, the
अबे लेकिन पिछले बार तो साला बहुत था ना बे 30-40.
Tundra, whenever there's these low periods, they're pretty happy. They're not getting pressured.
You're going to see if they can take down Crystalis here with the 3. See what sort of help he gets this time round. It doesn't look like there'll be enough to save him as Tundra. They'll get the kill. They strike again when they know that it's still at this point where Secret, they're probably not going to see if he's back up. They just don't have the methods to respond when Tundra time there.
सबसे ज़्यादा highest जोटा का ही जाता रहे.
This Hoodwink seems to just be the specialty, right? This burst damage and getting that 6 now.
Radiant structures are
Should be able to set up for this tower, finish it off. They still have Ravage too, so the threat. Secret, look like they're going to play on other sides of the map. Nisha going to start hitting mid. He pretty much has the Bloodstone done.
That's on net worth. Nisha. He's had many of these games where he's been at the top.
And he'll have this,
the whole match.
He'll have this Bloodstone a bit before the Wraith Pact is going to come out too. So we've seen a couple times Tundra, they've counteracted this Bloodstone a lot because you just prevent how much damage it does, you prevent how much healing. So if they do get that timing, Secret will start to take advantage of the map a little bit here. Bloodstone is done, so playing around this Lash, it's going to be problematic. Tundra might have some issues.
मैं नेशर साला अभी कोई खेलता नहीं था बे अभी तक. अभी TI में वापस.
Just to burst this Lash down.
We're seeing a Secret. They know how.
खेलते थे लेकिन ऐसा ये नहीं खेलते थे. Support खेलते थे. और Bloodstone वाला जो build है ना बहुत ही.
Saxa in good position.
The scan catches the moonlight. The scan as well catches the Secret rotation.
So maybe unlikely now that Secret are going to be able to make this a sort of jump with any sort of level of surprise. Quick turn with the bushwhack. Make sure that there's no further jump over towards Saxa. Saxa immediately turn the trap sides in the shot. Sets up for both the arrow and the sharpshooter to bang on target, take down the kill.
That burst from a distance.
13 minute Bloodstone.
Too much of anything. And now Secret, their rotation ends up not working, not getting them anything big. Does show that the Bloodstone is finished though, so I think Tundra, they're going to keep tabs of that, sit back, farm a little bit, wait until they have an opportunity to actually catch this Lash when he split away from his team. And Skeeter, he's still doing fine, you know, still loving life. Things are not too problematic, even though he has that death that they had going for the Enigma. He still has pretty good timings on his items.
Absolutely, yeah, he knows that when Secret try and poke at the rest of his team down there on the bottom half, this whole area,
15-14 minute मिनटा.
a little bit more for him.
क्या timing रहती रही इनकी?
Control, it's too bad at all for them. There's not any deep vision from Secret around this area, so Tundra pretty happy to continue to
और ना भाई सबके पास farm है इतना.
Stay up there towards the top, only a couple of hundred behind Nisha's farm.
Tiny का देख भाई, Tiny का सिर्फ जूता है.
So they probably can look to just
और वो भी डंडी, वो भी पूरी नहीं बनाई उससे.
Just watch out of the big ultimates that are in there too. The Lich plus that black hole. Just need to be careful how far they overcommit versus Secret's pretty tanky lineup. Zayats.
As we've seen many times, you've got to be careful how you try and poke towards Tundra. When Nine's around, he's just trapping you in the shards every single time you step up alone. Nisha, got that haste rune. We'll see if he's able to chase down anything in return. Nice little sidestep there from Nine. Make sure that he doesn't get caught out by the stun. Tundra's back under the tower, and Nisha won't be getting any kills today with this haste. Yes.
I mean, they're watching him, though.
I mean, they know that the haste is about to come to an end. Again, some excellent dodges from both sides here. Last minute or so, Nisha making sure the arrow doesn't catch him by surprise.
They need more heroes there. If they're going to go for some type of Ravage play, they need to go for those chain stuns if they're going to try to get Nisha. Very tanky, 1800 HP with the Bloodstone.
And as you say, that is the thing as well, though, for Tundra. If they try and play with their old secret, they'll very much be ready to respond with their own ultimates. Both teams having huge team fight ultimates to drop. We'll see
It's
the time again, he's on his own. Bloodstone charges, but Tundra, they're just able to blow him up. A bit of a rare situation there where Nisha was alone. At Tundra, they make sure they don't miss out on the opportunity. And they make the move immediately.
अगर वो ड्राइवर मारा रहता ना तो टर्न अराउंड हो सकता था.
He didn't have any help, exactly. And they dropped the Wraith Pack down, so there you see, even though he popped Bloodstone, he has all this damage coming out. It's actually not that much damage, nor that much healing.
Wraith Pack भाई सही आइटम है भाई.
Should be a free tier 1 tower. I'd imagine they have put the fortification. We'll see if he could try and force a fight. There's still
30 या 40% damage reduce होता.
As well too from Tundra. They have Ward on high ground, kind of watching everything right now.
And they're back off for now, respecting the fact that Nisha soon to be back up. But the damage certainly done to this tier 1.
अभी इधर भी नहीं बनाते थे. अभी पॉपुलर हुआ है TI में बहुत सारी चीजें पॉपुलर हुई.
She's back in play. They might just try and find some sort of move around him. This time round, making sure that they're in position to enable the Lesh and not allow him to get caught out alone.
That's the biggest thing, right? They have to start playing as much as possible around Nisha. Try to slow down Skeeter, because all these moments ticking by, this Naga Siren's just getting all the free farm in the world. Manta's finished, has an arcane rune, so he's going to be able to push out.
Orchid के बाद snowball हो जाएगा भाई.
Just keeping all these lanes shoved in, so it's hard for Secret to really make a move without them getting caught themselves. And yeah, those deep
सबके लिए लागू है ना बे. Early game Orchid है ना वो.
Taken out is a big deal right now.
4K lead for Tundra. Very much, you say, taking over the map. And with the Moonlight Shadow. See if they can catch Rezo alone. Rezo senses something's up though.
He is squishy now. I mean, he has not built any HP items whatsoever. 1000 HP. They have a plethora of burst damage.
This is a scary place. Tundra, they won't hesitate to dive if Nine's able to set up with the shards into the trees. He's going to try for it. See what he can find, and he finds him.
It's a perfect trap.
I'll get the bushwhack in as well. Rezo getting taken down behind his tier 2 once again. Nine just continuing to be bang on target every single time with these shards.
And this is pain. I mean, look at the moments. 5k gold lead now. Crystallis, he has been able to find
इसके लिए Leshrac के लिए Orchid सबके लिए अच्छा है बे.
all the space in for Skeeter, and they're getting kills out of it too.
They need to slow Tundra down.
Leshrac का तब तक BK भी थोड़ी आएगा.
To make some sort of fight happen around their own ultimates. Just
सकता.
set the team fight up for Nisha to be able to burn through these enemies with this incredible amount of damage he can do as the Lesh.
I mean, they're keeping all the lanes pushed in. Look, Snaking goes to the scary lane. Top, he's going to push that one out quickly. Mid's pushed in. Bottom's pushed in. Skeeter's already starting to look to cut some waves. Okay, maybe suiciding some illusions, but looking to cut some waves. Yeah, the pressure on the map, it's too much right now for Secret.
Just getting information on who's sort of still sat back here in the base. They know that Rezo's only just stepping out, so they can sort of plan for the movements of this Enigma and make sure that they're ready to prepare for any sort of jump Secret tries to make on them.
And look, they're building more and more dead. Crystallis, he's really far.
Deep, very far up the lane. You can see Tundra, they're a bit hesitant. They know that if he's going to play aggressive like that, chances are that the rest of Secret's there to back him up. Step up.
As soon as they see anything, though, 33 is just knocking on a tier 2 bottom as this Tide. Getting close to his pipe as well, so all this damage mitigation for the Lesh.
I mean,
it's starting to get online.
Yeah, the amount of pressure that Tundra can apply. Something that we've seen them always had the power to do with the drafts they normally enter in with. 33's Tide just being able to sit down here, Skeeter able to split the map up with his illusions. It's just a whole lot of everything that Secret's having to deal with right now.
Tower's just continuing to get hit. 33, he just knows he's free down here because he also has that ward backup. He has Skeeter near him too. Tundra, he's playing the map beautifully. And yeah, they built it. They got that shard early on Soxa, so that burst damage that we were talking about, they're gonna have so much of it to take out this Lash, to take out that tanky punch. And yeah, lanes are already starting to get cut. There's already a Naga Siren problem.
You very much see it in the net worth, and indeed so far, Secret not really being able to use the power of the punch. Now, Crystallis still very much behind here in the farm, and we see underneath the tower, Tundra We'll start poking at him, getting him pretty low. Chain Frost will be thrown out, but not too many bounces at all. And 33's ready to go back in onto Chrysalis Secret. At this stage of the game, they can't even protect that punch underneath their own tier 2. Rezo jumps forward. They're looking towards 9 and 9. And forced out to the side. He's going to be able to step away. See if they can continue to try and get any further catch. Zayas will be able to get the toss back onto 9, so they'll take him down. But very much, it's such a struggle here as we're seeing for Chrysalis. Under tier 2, Secret and the rest of the team pretty close by. They couldn't help him. And
they need to get more.
Tundra,
कुछ भी नहीं बना सकता वो अबे भाई
as they head into the jungle of Secret. Catch out puppy, Ravage with 33. Puts an end to the life of Zayat. And Nisha has to step back. It's just
ब्लैक होल है लेकिन माना है क्या उतना
see if they can get any further setup. Rush from 33. Sharpshooter hit coming in as well. Respawns will be there for Secret.
नहीं मरेगा टाइड रे नहीं मरेगा
They won't push their luck. They know that they're maintaining this lead.
Late game भी गए तो साला
Once they get that lead, Tundra, they very, very rarely throw it away.
Especially if they have Skeeter on something like this Naga Siren. I mean, he's been
20
absolutely
minute Orchid
through the whole
Manta.
game. He's got the Orchid, he's on his way to the heart, and it feels like there's going to start being some really big damage issues on Secret. And the map just continues to be pressured everywhere too, right? Tundra, they're forcing so much bottom. It's like 4 or 5 heroes of Secret having to react to this. Meanwhile, Skeeter's just, he's loving life. Plan is being executed perfectly by them. And for Secret, approaching into any of these fights, like Zayat, he still doesn't even have his Blink Dagger yet, so him being able to jump in, get some type of repositioning, getting some fight advantages, it's not easy. Rezo is the one with the Blink as the initiator, but as we've seen time and time again, he's just very squishy at this point. He'll just die if he goes in.
It's not easy at all for him to find the chance to get these black holes
Oh,
off,
yeah,
especially before he has that BKB done. And pretty much impossible if Tundra, they turn up in numbers.
And look at this approach from 33. You know, we were talking about damage mitigation so much. It tends to be a big thing that Tundra's going for. The Wraith Pact, and he's even killing up a Mage Slayer. So really cute approach.
देखना भाई Tide Hunter का Wraith Pact
reliant on that magical damage. So if he just gets an Anchor Smash, if he gets that
Pipe के ऊपर Wraith Pact,
how are they going to be able to bring down the targets? Especially that Naga Siren, who's gonna have this heart pretty soon.
जरूरी ना बच गई है.
Each passing moment here, each minute, Tundra. It's getting further and further ahead. Very much feeling the control they have on the game this early on as well. 22 minutes in, 8k lead.
Yep. And they even have, 9. Oh, we got the Orchid coming out.
We'll be lucky to find an illusion rune.
He'll be all right. And yeah, they also have 9, who's going to be going for his standard Tusk build. He's going to be that straight physical damage burst also. So they have kind of everything going for them here to be able to take down Focus Fire the Pudge, Focus Fire the Lash, reduce their damage, and take objectives. Yeah. That's the other big thing too. It's going to allow them to get Roche a little bit easier and push those towers.
It really very much is a case of, even through that Bloodstone heal, Tundra, they will kill Nisha so quickly. The Secret's response, it has to be immediate with their sort of counter initiations in terms of the black holes and such.
I mean, it's 22 minutes and there's only 2 Flesh Heap stacks. Never a position you want to be on the Pudge. But Chrysalis, he's got Ags done. Let's see what he's going to be able to do with this.
है उनकी lead में 9k.
Looking towards 33, this is not an easy kill.
He's very
उसके ऊपर अकेले और black hole मारना पड़ा उनको.
There we go.
I mean, they have to. I don't think they're getting that kill if they don't that.
कितना कुछ उन्होंने deploy किया भाई. Black hole मारना पड़ा उसके ऊपर.
That's the only way they can. They've got to do it quick, they've got to do it safe, they've got to use the black hole in situations like that. I'll take him off the map, and it will at least sort of give them the
7k net worth lead है
maybe for the 30
बहुत ज़्यादा है.
Knowing that Tundra, they won't have the tide for the fight, but
90,
nonetheless, Tundra, they're still that farm that they'll definitely still go for a quick kill.
Bottom.
Tide or not.
More than enough damage, probably. There it is. And some Deso stacks for 9.
See Lotus. Now done as well for Nisha, so a little bit of an extra way that he can try and prepare himself for the fight. Give him a bit of a better shot of not being blown up. Some of the targeted abilities from Tundra.
He'll protect him also if there's like a snowball. He can even get inside the snowball and play it a little bit perfectly. He can also dispel the boomerang buff, or debuff that is, which amplifies all that damage. Nisha?
This bottom tier 2 so scary, surely. Here for Secret, unless they can ensure that Tundra put off from diving, and they will manage to get back. Chrysalis, he hits the hook.
देखा क्या?
Grabs back 9 before Skeeter's able to do anything to save him. And sort of frees the rest of Secret there with the song. So a good catch onto 9 there, Secret. coming in with some level of response now to the moves from Tundra. It's definitely not as smooth sailing as it has been for the last 10 minutes. Secret able to slow them down a little bit by bit.
Yep, and now they have the blink on the Tiny, so an actual initiator rather than just forcing Rezo to be that one to
अगर
jump
दो
in
दो
with
हुआ तो
Black
5 मतलब दो जीता और एक दो जीती है और एक जीती है सामने वाली टीम को नहीं होगा.
At least for Secret, but Tundra doesn't seem like they care too much.
It's just the Naga siren, right? You know,
At least 3 गेम जीतने पड़ेंगे जीतने वाली टीम को.
Teammate die every now and then, wants a minute just one off on their own. As long as he's still hitting the
25 मिनट में सामने नागा का.
Top of the net worth and indeed with his heart, you can see Skeeter. Him and his illusions, it's not going to be easy to deal with. Sort of the main way to deal with it in terms of the Pudge and the Leshrac. We know that Tundra, they can kill these heroes. As underneath the tier 2 mid, they're looking towards Crystallis. Skeeter, he's ready to commit in. Top of him, Nisha will turn up for the fight, but not able to make any sort of move in time to save him. Crystallis goes down. And you see 33, he's ready to just waltz right underneath the tier 2 as well. So will jump over the toss back.
Bounces.
They are getting that pretty low. He's able to get the snowball off in time. Ravage there for 33 ensures the 9's got the space to step back. As Zayats will fall. The bushwhack from Saxa finishing him off. Secret trying their best to deal with this team fight. These dives, this aggression that Tundra is performing. Most times, 9 out of 10, they're not able to deal with it. No. They're not able to stop them from getting what they want. Tundra, they'll push down mids, take down this tier 2. Everything continues to just being ticked off the list here for Tundra.
This Skeeter Naga is just way too farmed, really, for them. Once he shows up to the fight, they're like, oh my god, we do not have enough damage to go through 3,000 HP. It's going to take them quite a while, and it's into Wraith Pack, and it's into Pipe, and also we saw our beautiful observer point out an extra cloak purchased up. I mean, he is going to be going back for the Mage Slayer, as we mentioned. He was queuing up Blink for a moment, but yeah, just really looking for all that damage mitigation, making sure that Skeeter will probably never go down unless he gets caught by absolutely everything. So for Secret, next few moments, pretty difficult for them to look for these fights. Multiple Blink daggers. You see even Puppey Blink. They need any type of follow-up. They need the big burst, right? If they catch 1 or 2 heroes in a black hole, they need absolutely everything.
That's a lot of weight on resolution.
It is.
He's got to do something incredible. We get the toss back here on a Snake King, but Puppey's like, Rezo's going to use the
disaster.
Tundra, they're able to reset the team fight. Puppey goes down. Zayat's also the ball. As they'll lose Snake King, but they get to, once again, Tundra just proving at this stage to be almost impossible for Secret to fight.
बहुत जरूरी है रे black hole के लिए black BKB.
Top position to use black hole, pre-BKB, even to all these stuns, into Song.
I mean, he must be close to the BKB, right, Rezo?
Getting closer. I mean, he bought the shard, he bought the lens, so he has delayed it quite some time for him. And Tundra now, they probably are like, okay, well, no black hole, we can probably look for Roshan.
Straight to Roshan, indeed. They know that there's going to be no chance of Secret heading out to this area of the map.
And they kill it fast with Riptide, with Deso, with Gush. See all that minus armor coming into play on top of the Orchid. Secret, they are reacting though, bringing 4 heroes. Scan is going to catch them.
अरे सीधा घुस रहे अंदर.
Any sort of fight going here, it's not easy. There's no black hole to rely on. There's still tech straight into the fight with Chris as he walks forward. Snowball's going to be there for now. Gets him over towards Nisha.
बाप रे, क्या हो रहा है उधर? कौन क्या चला रहा भाई, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा.
He's trying to finish off the Roche, Puppey and Nisha. They're stepping into the pit as well, but 9 heads in Snowball. They get the Ravage off the center. Rezo tries to jump in to steal the Aegis, but 9 only picks it up. 3 dead on Secret. They'll take the Aegis quickly out the hands of 9. But Secret are getting chased back away from the pit. Very much felt like a bit of a
ओह Puppey बच गया भाई. उसके भी पीछे दौड़े.
But they couldn't take the fight around the Roche pit. It's 4
Blink है, blink है.
9 continuing to
बचा रे.
We'll see Puppey able to blink out just in time. It's a good fortune that he has that item there.
I mean, it's wild how much damage is reduced there.
अरे उसने snowball डाल दिया था ना सबको.
They were so clumped up and they just still didn't die.
Look how much they only. I'm saying only because when we've seen these Pudges on these Leshes, when they're able to stick on targets, 3 heroes inside that, you would probably see some 10,000 worth of damage or something. But look at this, the damage mitigation completely protecting everybody there.
Secret, they really had to go all in to make a move like this, and they certainly do. They go straight into the pit, and of course, having to try and fight, Rezo doesn't have.
वो देख रहा हूँ Wraith Pack की वजह से damage reduction.
Look, he pops it and sends it up north to kind of hide it away from everybody. So Secret, they're panicking to try to kill this thing, and meanwhile they're all just dropping lower and lower.
Yeah.
Great plays from 9. The Snowball initially to dodge the Chain Frost of his team, and then Snowball to kind of guarantee that they can get up that Roshan. Beautiful plays from Tundra. Master masters of the team fight.
They are seeming unstoppable here so far in this game. 18k lead.
नहीं रे भाई बहुत ही मुश्किल है.
Also, you know, Ravage, it wasn't up until that exact moment as well too.
Stepping up in the mid, they've got the arrow connection.
Chains them देख रहा है क्या?
The Bloodstone here, look at the Lotus Orb off in time. A little bit of safety in his own snowball, but it's only going to tear him far away from the safety of any of his teammates as Nisha.
Lotus Orb.
Surely taken out. Poppy as well.
बाकी नहीं जीजी बोल देना चाहिए.
It's going to be 3 dead on Secret. We'll see how much further they want to play this one out. It is grand finals after all, but this game one, it just looks like there's very few answers at all to what Tundra's doing right here.
And it's versus that Lash. They gave the Lash. They had an idea, they had a concept, and it's working beautifully.
Radiant structures.
Full control of the game.
I mean, 33. As this, you know, how we ended it at the end there. You know, talking about how important the tide is, how good he is on this hero, and we're seeing it 4-1 and 15.
Black hole है ना उसके पास?
See the effects he's able to do from start to finish of this game.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
वो सामने वाले भी भाग जाएंगे.
Of course, Tundra. We've seen many times before in the games that they play. When they have this sort of lead, they'll
BK भी लेके सीधा गायब वो.
not to allow any opportunity for it to slip away from them. So they'll back off from the push.
यही हो सकता भाई.
To point out also, Skeeter did buy the shard as well, so feels like they're really understanding this. Limit the damage. You know,
अबे क्या farm कर रही भाई वो नागा.
The damage that's coming out from the Pudge and Lash. So how are they going to kill these big beefy targets?
They have to catch them split up. But as we've seen, it's very few situations where Tundra, especially at this moment of the game, they choose to sort of fall back into positions that allow them to get caught one by one.
Always playing around each other perfectly.
Hook. Trying to get a first rate 33, but he has got the Ravage. Pop it, and now there's the jump on 90 straight in.
Black hole तो मारा लेकिन कोई follow up.
But do they have the damage? Chain frost out, the BKB's already out from 9 and Skeeter. It was a nice two-man black hole, but there wasn't any follow-up, and now Tundra, it looks like once again, they're setting up for the cleanup. They've got the catch on Tanisha.
खत्म जीजी बोल देंगे अभी.
The snake, it keeps him locked down. He'll try and step back, but Tundra, the 4-5 of them, chase him down. He'll go for the TP out. He won't make it.
बोलते जीजी बोलते.
Body dead on Secret. Tundra, they're ready to resume pushing down the mid.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
Just seems like they're just way. I mean, this time they're way too far ahead, but they're always just like you mentioned. Everyone's always playing around each other. This time, Ravage is at the ready. 33 not even close to dying. And now they're all full health because Skeeter pops a song and heals them up as well. Tundra.
We'll see if they go for one more fight. But that one more fight for Secret, once again, will be lacking the big ultimates. Black Hole, of course,
अब भी अगर फिर से आए हुए तो बोलेंगे शायद.
something going, but really with the BKBs that Tundra have, if they get it off before,
Buybacks वगैरह इनके.
absolutely no chance of Secret killing these cores.
30k.
भाई हुआ है comeback ऐसा नहीं. टोके. लेकिन ये वाला गेम बहुत ही मुश्किल है. कौन फार्म होगा उनमें भाई?
It's not a
Secret
position
में.
where we've really seen any teams be able to turn things around when they've been against Tundra in particular. Tundra get this sort of lead against you, it very much is over unless something incredible happens.
Especially when they have this Naga Siren, really. They've looked to be amazing. These illusion carries in particular for Skeeter, right? His CK, his Naga has been a
कुछ नहीं रे भाई ये support है.
Secret, they tried to set that pace early game, but almost never in this game did they actually have a lead. The goal
भाई के भी तो लगे पड़े हैं भाई.
in favor of Tundra.
Tundra.
हो गया almost. लेकिन उसके buyback नहीं रहेगा.
Puppy, blinking in.
All right, walking down mid.
Trying to catch the creep.
पकड़ दे उसको. तोड़ते. भाई अच्छा इतना बड़ी कास्ट है और खिड़की.
The waves are all in though.
ये करने गया हूँगा. ए मरा. बचाया.
From Saxon, nearly finishing him off. They'll go with the snowball over towards Crystallis. Chain Frost comes out from Puppy. Crystallis commits him with the BKB onto 33.
क्या है ये मरी नहीं रहा वो.
He barely cares at all that this Pudge is on top of him. Another hook from Crystallis will catch on, but 33.
Miss हो गया रहा है.
Wasn't the cleanest combo, but at this point, Tundra, they don't even need to hit these combos. They'll just back off and reset. Not the Ravage into Song that, you know, will sort of blow away Secret, but they can afford to mess that up sometimes.
Black hole है. Black hole ही है भाई इनके पास जो है turn around.
Do have to watch out though as we see Black Hole back up in 10 seconds.
उसमें भी breath pack नहीं चलना चाहिए उनके सामने वालों का. Side hunter का breath pack नहीं रहा तो मरते थे सब.
And it's got to catch them before they press BKB.
Yeah. And before Wraith Pact are Piper down.
We'll find 9 in the trees. He gets the beat.
Punch.
Members there. Saxon poking from the side.
He's fighting.
Pushback. Chrysalis, he's getting low. 9 tries to chase him out. Chrysalis gets taken down. 9 caught by the fear. See at the side though, they're focusing down Nisha. Nisha goes down. 4 star to the side. 9 caught by the avalanche. Will go down. Secret able to find some sort of semblance of a trade there. They'll take out 9 immediately. Nisha does commit in with the buyback. I'll see if there's anything Secret can do here with this minute.
बहुत outfarm हो जाएंगे.
Are without their mid laner.
Nisha can never walk up. He just walks in, gets fully focused from everyone on Tundra. And another item coming up for Skeeter in a moment.
My goodness.
More heal prevention, more damage reduction, etc. Scotty's going to be coming out also for this Naga.
Extra illusion as well with the level 20.
Yeah.
And illusion rune founders. On top of that also, I expect us to continue to just see all 3 lanes push right up to the base of Secret. If Secret are going to try and find that, what needs to be an immaculate team fight, 5-man black hole, it's just going to be so hard for them to do it anywhere outside of the base. Leaving this area of the map, leaving the some sort of safety at the high ground, it's just so tough against what Tundra's doing on the map right now.
Tundra's on cruise control. But Snaking's even got boots to travel on the 5 Marana.
Nice.
They don't know what to do, bro. Come on, relax, bro.
Okay, keep moving. Guys. I got Vicky.
Well, there we go, very much. Because he's Secret, I think they know that this is a spot game 1 that's tough, but there's a long series ahead of them, so making sure to keep things positive. And very much still continuing it to give it their all. Smoked up here, Zayat and Resolution.
I think most people find it, you hear Puppy like kind of laughing in these type of games, and you're like, oh, okay, whew. A heart now for 33.
This is a scary place of Resolution and Zayat.
अब क्या ही फार्म है भाई हम दोनों का.
Tundra.
Everyone on Tundra
नहीं इधर से नहीं होता comeback.
At this point.
तो 99% बताना होगा will probability. पड़ा है रो इधर बचे भाई.
Any grab, any toss back.
Oh, yeah, Snaking's got bots, Lotus, 4-staff, Drum. And it's a 5-position Marana, by the way.
We've seen some farm supports today. This one's certainly up there from Snaking.
Tundra just tend to do this a lot of times too, right? Distribute their wealth nicely, especially, at this point in this game, of course, when they have all the space in the world, but...
Can they see 33, but he's got
4,000.
Try.
वो Wraith Pact का भाई क्या भाई कुछ लग ही नहीं रहा हो Tyrant को.
He just Mage Slayer hits them and they do nothing.
They've got to back off. 33's toying with the idea of a Ravage as well. Nisha.
Buyback नहीं है Nisha के बाद.
Will get jumped by 9. He's in with the Walrus punch. A Secret just traveling back up towards the high ground, and I tell you what, I think they're quite lucky to get out of there with nobody going down.
They can't even. They take all the tide. This build really from 33 is working perfectly.
बहुत ही प्यारा है भाई Tyrant का.
We've seen so many
Paul ठोक दिया उसने.
This Mage Slayer because he sees that both cores have this magic damage emphasis.
6-1 and 20.
करना पड़ता है अपने इसमें try.
What you hope to see from your offlane.
115 on Skeeter.
Should be another one here for Tundra. Again, these illusions from Skeeter making sure that Secret they cannot even dream of getting anywhere close to the Roshan.
Every lane pushed in. Puppy. Up for a journey, trying to maybe collect some bounty runes. Blinks will be okay. Snaking won't find him. But the Roche acquired 40k gold.
इधर से वो Black Hole भी उनका पड़ा ना वाइप भी हो गया ना. वो भी इतना मुश्किल है इनका.
Something that you very rarely see.
उनका Secret का game ही उस पे था कि early इस पे.
Pretty much a full nullifier done as well from 9. Even tougher to try and protect that core that gets jumped upon by 9.
They're looking to go to. They're smoked.
Both.
So many of these heroes just get immediately burst down, especially Puppy.
With that Aegis, Tundra know that they can look to get into the base of Secret.
33's taking the tower by himself. He's just anchor smashing it.
Yeah.
He's got the talent.
Chrysalis trying for some sort of a hook.
They can't stop him.
अबे क्या ही route. क्या change था ना.
9 in response immediately on top of it. That Zayat's gone. No buyback for him.
Chrysalis.
He'll pop the BK.
₹100 से पीछे buyback के.
Get some sort of distance between him and the rest of the team. He's going to try and stand his ground on 33 and 9. Jumps in with the Warriors punch into the snowball. Overall, Nisha Rezo. He's going to go for the black hole. The song is there.
It's healing him.
The black hole and damage alone.
खत्म अभी CG बोल देंगे.
The BKB. Rezo's out. Does have a buyback, but even if he opts to do so, won't have a black hole to use. Tundra, they'll continue this push up towards the top lane.
ब्लैक में मरा भी नहीं होता क्योंकि वो नागा का हील कर रहा था.
Last move, maybe hope that Tundra gets a bit close to the fountain, but Tundra, they don't mess around. They're not making any mistakes. 33 pops the Ravage, catches out Nisha and Chrysalis. Chrysalis getting low. He might just be able to reset this time as he is over towards the fountain, actually able to lift Nisha. Also able to keep himself alive for now with the Lotus.
क्या है भाई मर ही नहीं रहा हो. अब भी मरा.
Nisha away from Tundra. He's out for 100 seconds. The tier 4s have gone. They're onto the ancient.
Easy बोल दिया.
It's Cole and Tundra. They take this game one.
Oh.
My goodness, they take this game one. This was not close. Tundra in full, complete control. I mean, it felt like after 10 minutes, Secret, they didn't have a chance at all in this one, Bog.
It felt like even from lanes, right? The rotations from Saksa kind of putting on this pressure onto Nisha. This was a miraculous game, really, from Tundra, kind of setting the tempo super early on with the Naga Siren draft. When you're able to kind of get this type of lead early on, and you have a Naga, and you start realizing, hey, we're versus only magic damage, my Tide can just completely counteract it, you know?
Absolutely.
It's an excellent approach.
And I think what's going to feel really good for them is indeed it paid off. You know, as Aoi said, they wanted to try this game one, let the Lesh go through. They dealt with it, and they dealt with it phenomenally. There's no question about it. It was never going to be any sort of issue after a certain point, as Tundra looked terrifyingly good here in this game one of the Grand Finals. Back over to you guys on the panel.
Thank you very much, Odie, Pixel and Fox. Yes, Tundra executing psychological warfare here in game one. They let the Lesh through and they destroy it, and you saw Secret just walking off. That felt a little bit heads low. This is probably one of the most devastating first matches we've had at the Grand Finals at International.
And it looked really good at the start, in some ways.
I mean, they had 5 heroes.
Like, they did have 5 heroes. I mean, one of the plays that I was most excited for that game was when they came mid and ganked, and they managed to kill 9 on his Tusk. And in anticipation of his respawn, they thought he's going to move somewhere. So they smoked Zayat and Nisha to top lane, where they then do a counter gank on 9's respawn TP. And that was like, I was like, that's so cool. Like, they're really shutting down 9's Tusk this game. Like, Nisha's just following him around the map.
I don't know, I feel like, James, you're completely on point. This game is just devastating.
Bro, come on.
You're picking... You've been
Trust
given...
me, I've been in games like this, not at the international, but this is similar. A lot of what my MMR matches look like, and yeah, but you know, I still play more.
Cheap, Tiga, they've been given Lesh, they've been given Pudge, and this Naga is still not counterable. In the last series, they've been given Magnus, Monkey King. Like, you've been given these Empower heroes. Ember, I believe, was in that one as well. Like, you have just so much AoE damage to deal with these illusions. It just does not work. Lesh, however, they proved it here, right, T? It can be countered.
It can be countered. And I think right now for Secret, after this first game, it's identifying the fact that Tundra, they are this team that when they get into an aggressive position, they're going to hold it against you. Like this lineup from Secret, if you get out ahead in the laning phase, sure, you have the AoE damage from a Pudge and a Lesh, right? You can deal with the Naga Siren. But when you lose your early game, and Tundra is the best team in the world at just choking out, playing aggressive, not allowing you to cross the river and make any plays. And on top of that, 33, I know we kind of touched on it lightly, his itemization, he's identified the fact that if he gets a pipe, a Wraith Pack, even a Mage Slayer, I think Knoxville tweeted that it's like the 5th time a Tidehunter has ever picked up Mage Slayer on this hero. Like, he can just stand up front. So now, Secret, if they ever find the Tide, you can't kill him. If you then find anyone else, you're going to get a Naga Song. Like, it was just exceptional gameplay from them. But yeah, I think the Leshrac is the key story right now for this one.
Well, I think we need to know more about Leshrac, T.
Oh, yay.
Because will we see it again?
Oh, I mean,
tell us more.
Oh, tell us more. Well, of course. So Team Secret coming into this tournament, or at least into the playoffs, they'd beaten PSG twice in a row with the Leshrac. They had beaten Thunder Awaken twice in a row with the Leshrac. They were one of the best Leshrac teams in the tournament, but this game here is the first loss for Nisha on Leshrac, going now 4-1. Don't forget Tundra, they've not played any Leshrac at TI so far. They've not even touched it. They played it 6 months ago. So for Tundra to come into this Grand Finals, to give Secret one of their best heroes, beat them with it, potentially Tundra, it could slip into their hero pool throughout this Grand Finals.
Isn't there another team at TI?
It's quite a few.
That didn't play Lesh?
Yeah,
back in the day,
CDEC, they did not play Leshrac, and it cost them a TI win. It was pretty devastating, but Looks like it's going to be the complete opposite story here.
It was also a very broken hero back in the day.
Yeah.
And it still is quite a broken hero. And luckily, Nine has played some Leshrac this week. He played 3 pub games on it. So this strategy from Tundra, give Secret Leshrac, beat them with the Leshrac, never play it at all. It could set up for some mind games going into game 2, maybe game 3. That Tundra surprises Secret with a, haha, we actually do play it type strategy. But maybe I'm kind of getting carried away there.
Well, it didn't work out in game 1. But do you think, Tundra, we talked about their map control. They had really good vision. They strangle at the map. But one of the other things is this a counter to Leshrac as well. The fact that every single person you want to kill is just so hard and they have backup. Because you don't want to be chasing a Mirana. Hoodwink, gets into the tree line. You don't want to open up on the tide. So it seems like they're not only masters of the map, they're really masters of control. And Leshrac needs to go deep into the fights. And so what do you do? Get a blink?
Well, yeah, like Lich. Lich got himself a blink, why not Lesh as well? Like blink on Leshrac is actually not that bad, it can happen later on in the game. They had different problems though. Like the initiation needed to happen after Ravage, post-Ravage. That puts a lot of pressure on Rezo. Like you could see so many black holes that are targeted. Well, he catches a couple of heroes, but those heroes already pop the BKBs because he cannot wait. He knows that if he waits, the Ravage is there, his teammates are already dying. Leshrac, so many times he goes in and he's the sole hero that's hitting the raid pact.
Tough. But of course, Team Secret will take a moment backstage. They're going to have a little bit of time to kind of regroup and pick up their heads. But we did hear from Team Secret earlier as Abo sat down with them before the grand finals.
Welcome, Team Secret, to the round table. Are you guys ready for the grand final?
I'm ready. Misha's the first one that answered. It's good, why everybody looking at me for?
Let's get started with the actual questions. A lot of teams, they talk about how losing makes them stronger because they get to learn about their weaknesses, when a team figures them out. Are you guys worried that they're going to just figure you out at the right moment and it'll be too late to learn from it?
Yes. I'm worried. I'm actually worried. I mean, in Secret, if you lose with one hero, you're not picking it again. That's the law. So it might be
Come on. Don't ruin the hero.
Removed from the pool.
Do you feel like the underdog to a degree?
We are underdogs.
Okay.
There's no question about it.
Okay. Let's talk about the addition of Rezo to the team. You guys have been playing together as a duo for a while, haven't you?
Since the VP times, yeah. We were together in VP, we were together in Hellraisers, now here.
Raise some hell.
Is it true that you guys were marketing yourself as a duo when you guys were both looking for a team? Like you were looking to lane together?
Yeah, I literally made that tweet that the best duo opening was looking for a team.
And it worked?
Not a single request was from that tweet. Nobody reached out. They're like, yeah, whatever. Who are these guys? I mean, I think it's both the view on the game that we're sharing and outside of the game, we share a lot of life understanding, some certain things, and it's very easy to talk to. So it just kind of was a very obvious way for us to go from that point on.
Is it true that you guys speak Russian to each other in the lane during the game?
Yes, it is true.
So the half the team speaks English to each other and the other half speaks Russian?
Yeah, it's just the laning. Yeah.
Oh, just the laning.
But sometimes we're switching lanes, so I'm laning with Clement and they kind of break the rules,
I'm playing with Remco and speaking English also.
Yeah.
So.
When you do things, you do what's comfortable, right? It doesn't bother us that they're speaking Russian. To be fair, it's even a benefit. Because we can zone out of it.
Yeah.
Not me, I actually hear it. But for Remco's sake and stuff like that, he doesn't even hear anything what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, he also has problems. He also understands what's going on, kind of.
He's not hearing anybody.
So to be fair, only Remco doesn't understand what's going on. We're all here, and we kind of get it.
Let's talk about Chrysalis as well. Remco, yeah?
Remco, yeah.
Yeah. You guys have both previously stated how he's a wild stallion, and you had to break him a little bit in the beginning.
Wild stallion, what?
I had no idea. Okay, not that kind of wild stallion. He's his own person, Puppy. You talked about that.
Yeah,
yes. Sorry, maybe I went a little bit too poetic.
At Riyadh or
Yeah, it was a Riyadh.
that one. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, how's the relationship evolved going towards TI?
No, I mean it's still the same. I don't think much has changed at all. It's just still a bit of goofing. We clicked. It just kind of works.
Yeah.
I'm usually a bit more of a clown, I guess, at times. Well, you know, whatever.
I mean, I could tell you a billion Remco stories. A billion Remco stories.
What does it mean to you to be able to play in the grand finals?
I get a chance to fulfill my dreams and my goals. To me, TI is always like a celebration. Like, I just completely enjoy all my days here, like including the finals or not, you know. I'm just happy to be playing the high level of Dota.
Puppy, you've been to 3 TI grand finals. What advice would you give your fellow teammates?
My advice has always been there every day, and it doesn't matter if you're playing first match of TI or last match of TI. It's the same thing, you know?
Just play the game of Dota that you're playing for how many, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever. But just play the game and do your best and be in the moment, be in the present moment. Just give it your best.
Are you excited to play in front of a crowd? Does it add to the experience to you?
When they start chanting like some names of the team, usually the enemy team, it's fun. It gets better, you know?
The enemy team. Please, crowd cheer for
It gives me
Nisha.
energy, you know? To, you know, prove them wrong, kind of.
Okay.
But it's fun, I guess, yeah.
Crowds are awesome. And especially if they do some awesome things in there, like, I don't know, remember like that Enigma doing the black hole that was happening in Benaroya Hall back in, I don't know, 2nd TI, I think. The crowd brings a lot of good energy.
You always feel it, like, you know, even if you're completely zoned in the game, you still feel the, I don't know, sounds, even like vibrations on the ground and stuff. You know, all of the people are watching, and not only on stream, like, you know, thousands on stream, but here, literally here, and it's a very different experience.
I like to enjoy crowd because I like to scream at enemies when I'm killing them. Because after the scream, I can calm down. It's much easier. That's why I like crowd, because they're screaming. I'm like, oh, hello, and we go next.
Thank you, Team Seeker, for talking to me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it was a pleasure. Let's go.
That's the way to go.
Welcome back to the panel. Yes, I was a bit concerned for Secret coming off of game 1, of course, and how they kind of looked, but actually kind of seeing that video feel really wholesome. I think like this is a team that actually get on so well and could definitely come back. And the talks of the crowd being amazing and how Zayat wants him, and Singapore has been amazing this tournament. But any takeaways from the interview?
We heard more words from Nisha in that one interview than we did in the entirety of the DPC season. So I think that was the best content piece that I've watched from Secret.
I know, right? Doing my research for TI, I was just like, Nisha. There's nothing. Moving on.
What was his comment? It was, in Secret, if we lose with a hero, we don't pick it again.
Yeah.
So that whole Leshrac piece that we did earlier, you can just ignore this kind of Leshrac
That's also
piece.
very interesting, because that's not usually how Secret was, how Puppy is. Like, if you remember back in the day, he was known as that stubborn captain. If he picks a hero, he's going to stick with it no matter what, if he thinks that it's
Yeah, and I remember actually talking to Dendi, and he was like, I play what Puppy tells me to. You know, even if I don't think, you know, it's okay, Puppy says, I have to do. But let's check in as we wait for the second game to get ready. Let's check into the arena with Slacks.
Yes, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. We are still here in the crowd for Grand Finals Day. We still awake, crowd? Oh, fantastic. Now, I do have a very rare opportunity. These were the first things that sold out at the Secret shop. These are the trap... Oh, my God, don't show that. Valve promos. Very rare. We're going to give these away in a little trivia contest. Now, people get a little nervous in front of the camera, so we're going to do what I like to call crowd trivia. It's basically trivia for dumbos. Now, I'm not going to say that, but all right, anyway, very easy trivia. Anybody in here a large? A large? Anybody a large? All right. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Tom.
Tom. What's your gamer tag?
My gamer tag?
Yeah.
It's on his shirt. Here we go.
That's Papa Virgin.
Call me Papa.
All right, well, that ain't changing anytime soon. Trivia question for you, my friend. All right. This is very hard. What team is Heen associated with?
Oh, God. That's a tough one.
Don't you? What?
Secret.
Secret! That's right, Team Secret! Ah, there you go. One loud shirt. There you go. We got a medium. Now, this man helped me corral some fans earlier, so get your butt over here. This is practice content. All right, this is tough. How do you spell Leshrac?
Leshrac.
I actually don't know how to spell Leshrac, so here you go. Enjoy. Thank you. All right, Small. Hello, sir. You look trustworthy. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good.
Fantastic. All right, sir. I haven't really thought of a question. Okay. Who's your favorite caster, OD or Fog? Now, there is a correct answer. They're right there next to us. OD or Fog?
There's only one, sir. Fog!
Wow, that's great. Unfortunately, incorrect, though. So we'll have to go to another. No, just kidding. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody here, by the way, these are the primo seats, right behind the casters, right when everybody walks out. These were the guys that came in first. So give it up! And yes, we're still quite awake over here, so we'll pass it back to you guys. Keep doing your panel thing, all right? You guys give it up.
Thank you, Slacks, as he rejoins the crowd to cause more carnage. Have you seen OD Pixel Cast, by the way? It's one of the best things, because those are the primo seats, as Slacks called it, but he is so animated, and Fog just kind of stands there.
It's all the hand movements. It's really feeling and like part of the game.
It's really good that they're standing behind OD. If it was Cap, someone might get wet as well, you know.
That's true.
This could happen. Yes, so we're going to be getting the players out for game number 2, Secret versus Tundra. And still, the storyline is Tundra dominating game 1. And Sheeps to kind of talk about, you know, really how they put down the, not only just their opponents, but put down the lock on the map. What were they doing, Tundra?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I really liked how they utilized their Fat Tide. They brought him away from the bot lane when around 14 minutes when he finished his Wraith Pact and used his Ravage to kill the Leshrac. And this opened up the mid tower for them. And they were able to get a deep ward in the enemy's triangle during this move, which is like, it's very valuable because then they move into the bot side of the map and they know how much they can poke and dive this tier 2 tower given the information they're getting from their vision. And by combining this with having 2 high damage supports in the Mirana and Hoodwink, it meant that they were able to assassinate and kill people without even the help of their cores. So they're just constantly applying pressure and kill threat to Secret all the time.
That pressure is constantly enabled by the Naga as well. Those pesky illusions like Rezo, that wasn't a game for him. Why? Because there's always one pesky illusion following him around, breaking his Blink Dagger, hitting him. Like, by the time he gets rid of the illusion, the team fight is already kinda over. And Mirana plus Naga, like this combo, it needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, the position 5 Mirana, it's only Tundra doing it, and it's the fact that in all of their drafts as well, they've got the Brood or a Spirit Breaker, the Enigma, like they've always got an element of just map pressure that other teams haven't been able to kind of replicate in their games. And yeah, this is why Secret in this gap, or this break at least from game 1, they need to identify how do we want to prevent Tundra having that map pressure.
Well, we'll have to see as we're going to be getting ready for game 2. As you can see, the teams have now joined us on stage. And of course, we talked a little bit about Tundra, just how they're locking down the map. It really seems like they figured their opponent out, at least in terms of game 1. And actually, we're going to hear from Tundra about their opponents, Team